Wow. Okay, well, so this film has received a standing ovation, and Srimati Sudhamurthy herself has appreciated it. So, Taare Zameen Par, Aamir Khan sir, a warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining me on Filme
Thank
Shilmy.
you. Thank you, Anuj. Thank you.
Right. Look, it's interesting because I feel like when it comes to such subjects, it's a very a challenging task. I think for any creator because number
Hmm.
one, it could go either way. You either make it a very uh superheroic sort of a story, or you
Hmm.
have this kind of like very a message that really drills home. But the way you
Very preachy or something, yeah.
PG or something. And the
Yeah.
way you've obtained it in Taare Zameen Par to now, it definitely seems to be this middle ground humanist lens of
Mm-hmm.
storytelling. How important has that been for you, Amir, sir, in your career so far of humanist storytelling?
Well, Anuj, I have always been attracted to things that affect all of us. I wouldn't call them social themes, but just stories that and aspects of life that affect us. Our children are so important to us. So you can look at Tare Zameen Par as a film on dyslexia, or you can look at it about childhood and children. And that's what it is really about. So it applies to each one of us. I may not be dyslexic, but I have also experienced rejection. I'm also not good at everything. There's something that people make fun of me. Oh, he's bad at math, or he just can't play cricket, or he's useless at this. So all of us have faced rejection of some kind or the other, if you know what I mean. And it's a film that's so important to us because it affects the way we bring up our children and the kind of happiness we can give them and the kind of love and uh, you know nourishment we can give them growing up. So it made us all aware about that. So
Hmm.
I really love, I really love it when a great script comes up, which is actually touching upon something that is so important to us, you know. And
Hmm.
it's my good fortune that I've had number of scripts coming up my way, which are not just great scripts. Creatively they pop on their own, but they're also about topics which are so important to us, like education and children. And so once again, in this case, when the script came my way, I just fell in love with it. It brought so much joy to my heart,
Hmm.
and it made me, realize that this film has the power to change perceptions.
Right.
So not only is it a great ride, it's such a joyful ride, it's so entertaining, but it's saying something so important, but in such a with such a light hand, you know. And I've always believed in this is one of my favorite genres actually, drama with humor. So
Yes.
Dangal is drama with humor. Three Idiots is drama with humor. PK is drama with humor. This is all
Yeah.
drama with humor, and this is one of my favorite genres. Tare
Hmm.
Zameen Par was a film which was very emotional. That was a totally different genre.
Yes.
But this one being a sequel thematically is actually choosing a different genre to tell the story, which is humor, which is, I guess, I think, as it turns out, it's my favorite genre. Yeah.
Right. But आपकी सबसे खूबी क्या क्या है मैं बताता हूँ आमिर sir. And I was just introspecting because I watched 1947 Earth the other day, and I think
Ah,
that's your best performance. Honestly, that performance was outstanding, especially in the
gee.
end where you're
Yeah,
having
yeah,
that
yeah.
fall.
That's a very scary scene, Bapre.
My God, honestly, but I tell you what, one
Ah.
thing that I have realized is that your all your characters, they have this sense of internalization, and then they
Mm-hmm.
kind of go through this reawakening of sorts. And
Mm-hmm.
some places, like in Rang De Basanti in Earth, it goes on the
Mm.
darker spectrum,
Right.
whereas in Taare Zameen Par and Sitaare Zameen Par,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to be with a lighter, it seems with hope and
Yeah,
aspiration
yeah.
of building on life, right?
Correct.
Where does this internalization in you as an artist come from?
Mm.
I would love to know that actually.
Well, actually, I guess my choice of films reflects what I am. I do believe that I'm a very introspective person. I often look inside myself a lot, and that's also helped me grow. As a person,
Hmm.
and also as a creative person, it helps me grow as a creative person as well to look inward. So I guess that's how I have been, and so that's why it also reflects in my work, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think hope is definitely something which has always been there,
Oh
though.
yeah, I really believe in that. I feel that, there are so many challenges that we have in life, but hope, is one of the strongest emotions. If no matter how difficult the situation is for you, no matter how difficult it is for you, as long as you have hope, there is possibility.
Hmm.
But the day you lose hope, then everything ends. So hope is a very important emotion, and as a creative person, I think that's a very important, you know feeling I can evoke in people, a feeling of
Hmm.
hope, a feeling of inspiration. You know, and I think that's something that I feel is so important.
But I tell you what, your films have the power to evoke a social change. Like I remember
Mm.
Taare Zameen Par jab aayi thi. I remember my parents. I mean, I'm thank with God's grace. I mean, I had no idea about dyslexia in that sense. I
G
was
G.
luckily ऐसी कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी. But my parents just looked at me after watching that film and they're like, "So school में सब ठीक है ना? I like time now." And that's
uh,
a powerful medium. And I think with Sitare as well, it really normalizes the conversation
yes,
about
yes, yes, yes.
neurodivergence. I think for you as well. I mean, it's incredible to see actors who have this special abilities.
Mm,
It's amazing to see them act, and it was
mm.
so heartwarming. Every time I see the trailer, I was like, "This is exactly what we want from cinema nowadays. It's
Yeah,
sincere storytelling." So for
yeah.
you as a producer and as an actor, in terms of normalizing, I mean, I know the fact that we're even saying it's a part of a conversation, it shouldn't really be that, but society still is still very much it still needs to be pushed,
Yes,
right? So what do you
yes.
think, power of not just the conversations, but what social change can we do? Because art, you've proved it, is a very powerful
Mm.
medium, you know?
Yes, I think storytelling is a very powerful medium. When a story is well told, it has a deep impact on all of us. And I have grown up uh, experiencing this kind of impact on me. When you hear a wonderful poem, it inspires you. In those two lines, a poet says such a big thing. So, growing up, I've been inspired by writers, poets, artists, and I feel it's a great privilege, for me to be in a field which is a creative field where hopefully I can have the same impact, you know, that I have also experienced from other people's work. Yeah, you know,
Hmm. And finally, what would you say, right?
yeah, yeah.
What would Amir Khan of today define as your normal?
Well, I really feel that each one of us is unique and different and beautiful. And often we look for beauty on the outside.
Hmm.
Am I tall? Am I good looking? Am I slim? So we're often looking for beauty outside, but actually the real beauty in each of us lies within us. You
Hmm.
know, and the day you realize that, then I mean that's the way we connect with people. You know, I connect with people because of what I have inside of me. People connect with me because of what they have inside of them. That's what is the real connection. Mm.
Amazing. On that note, unfortunately, we have to wrap up. But oh my God,
Yes,
this is
yes.
really a dream come true. I think it is wonderful. All my childhood memories of all your movies are literally coming back as I see you in TV. So it's very, very
Mm.
wonderful. And wishing you all the very best for Sitare. I think it's going to be a very special film, and I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to check it out in cinemas. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Anuj. Thank you so much.
Okay, Genelia, welcome to you on Filme Shilmy. I mean, look, Sitaare Zameen Par is very special, length doesn't matter, but the impact that a role has always matters. Uh, how important is it for you to stay focused actually as an artist, regardless of the length of a role, and actually focusing on the impact of what the character is saying?
Yeah, that's extremely important for me. I need to be significantly important to maybe the a part of the story or a part of a character. I need to be significantly important. I can't be there for just wearing clothes or being having a great body, yeah, which is great. I mean, I may do a film like that, who knows? But I also the way I choose roles is it has a significant importance to the film. Now, very well said in terms of the length of the role, because even in Sitaare Zameen Par, I feel like I'm a very important catalyst to the second part of the story, like how the story progresses. In the first half, you hardly see me. But when I do come on, I hope I have a positive impact when I do come on. And that's what matters to me. Someone once said, that you've been away for so long. What do you think about it? Like, I said, what I like is I like when people say, we've missed you, come back on screen. So,
I have missed you. So yeah, definitely. I agree. No, it's wonderful. But you know what, Janelia? It's like from AKP's Jaane To Ye Janana Aditi to now, I feel like there's a sense of Tehrav in you as an artist. You've gone from playing these very fiery, Zinda Dil characters to someone who's a bit more introspective about life. I mean, compassion has always been there in you as an artist. How would you describe that growth from Jaane Tu back then to now in Sitare? How would you describe that evolvement that you've had?
I think from being someone who was full of life and just play teeny bopper roles to someone who became a mom, who got married, who became a homemaker. There's a whole transition in life that happens as you grow up. But the important thing is never to kill that child in you. So I think I just keep that alive, and that's what I've done in Sitare also. While I'm someone um, who is in a zone, the voice of Gulshan of Aamir Khan's character. Like, I put things very clearly to him. I don't mince my words when I'm saying it. I think that's something that came to me in my real life also, because initially I was very instinctive, explosive, maybe, but I think with the way life goes on, you realize that sometimes it's not important to just react. Sometimes it's important to take a step back, understand what's happening, and probably then react. So I think that's what I brought to Sunita as a character. And that's what I'd like to bring to a lot of my characters, the person that I've developed to be. So I hope I get that chance to portray roles which are in a similar way.
And we saw traces of that in Wade also. But I think a two-part question actually. It's a follow-up really about the compassion and empathy that I described in the first question. Yeah, empathy or warmth. I know it sounds like a very basic human thing, but it's amazing the way you really bring that on screen. I feel comfortable whenever I see you on screen. You radiate that warmth, and I love that. So I'd love to know the source of that. And also, I think Sitare is so special because it really brings to light and normalizes the conversation about neurodivergence. But I think normalizing is one thing, but social change, society में लाना बहुत ही, I mean, मुश्किल का काम होता है. Art is a very powerful medium to do that. But conversation के अलावा और हम क्या ही कर सकते हैं as a society to really encourage that dialogue that is started by the film?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, well, one of the lines in the film is "Sabka apna apna normal hai,"
Huh.
and that just summarizes it all. We believe that this is different, this is normal, this is different. We just make these whole things happen in life. Like the kids, the sitares that I interacted with through the journey, it's you when you talk about compassion and empathy, Anuj, we don't even have that 1% of sensitivity that they have. It's unbelievable how warm their conversation is, how amazingly they look at you and they discuss things. They have a point of view which probably is not said like how you and me say it, but it is said, and you can only hear it if you're willing to listen, which I think as a society in general, we've stopped doing. We've stopped having that ability to listen, to figure out, to include, to be inclusive. Like the one thing that I teach my child, people say, what is the thing that you teach your children? I teach my child that at lunch break, if there's a child sitting alone, are you going and making a conversation with him? You know,
Oh, yeah.
I think that's so important, and I think we forget to teach our children. We forget to have these conversations. I mean, if there's one child alone, maybe you're just hello, how you doing would make such a big difference to that child, you know. And that's what I teach my boys every day when they come home. I'm like, was there a child alone at lunch break? Did you go and, you know, probably interact? Yeah, maybe some of them want to be left alone and you don't over, you know, crowd them. But maybe they're just not able to make that first step, and you may be able to make them have that first step. So, so I think there are a lot of things in life that we don't talk about, and I'm just so glad that AKPL makes it a point to make these amazing films. And I count my blessings that I'm part of a film that talks about inclusion.
But you've always had that, though, haven't you? Human interest stories have always been your forte. I mean, even if you look at a very a film like Masti, for example, right? A very terrible example, but even though that was like it's a fun film, but still those are human interest story about that human is voice. So I feel like you've always championed this as an artist, also, Genelia, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm realizing it from your conversation, Anu. So I would honestly give you the credit, but I think I attracted, and I think I like doing it. I'm not someone who thinks I know it all. I don't like having that attitude at all. So I don't feel entitled at all. I feel every day I learn. As a parent, I feel like I tell people, don't try to be that perfect mom. It's fine to have imperfections. You know, it's fine. We all do have that. Just make sure you're doing it to the best of your ability. That's all. And
Yeah, no, go on, please. Yeah, he was
I
saying.
believe every mom. I do believe every mom. Their route may be different, but I do believe every parent is doing their best in life to whatever.
Mhm. But thank you, Janelia. Thank you so much. It was so lovely to chat with you. Thank you and wishing you all the very best at Sitaare.
Thank you so much. Anuj. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.